and more than 400 have quit.
The best way to put it, it's a disaster. Everyone here will tell you.
Fox's Brooke Taylor at a Houston airport where it's taking several hours to get through security.
So the line, it stretches down different levels all the way to the basement where the airport subway system is. And get this, once those travelers wait hours, make it up to this level where we are at, they then have to go outside the terminal where it loops around.
The shutdown centers on a Democrat push for immigration enforcement reform. Senate Republicans now considering a budget process that would get around the filibuster rule to end the shutdown. At the Mullen event, President Trump likely to face questions about Operation Epic Fury as he pushes talks with Iran. In the meantime, there's word orders have been given for the 82nd Airborne to deploy to the Middle East, beginning with just the commander and his staff to assess what might be needed if the president decides to use any land operations. Investigators still searching the debris field at New York's LaGuardia Airport, where a fire truck was hit by an Air Canada jet Sunday night, killing the two pilots, injuring more than 40 others.
We know that the cockpit voice recorders were pulled intact from the wreckage, but the NTSB says controller staffing, time cards, and sign-in sheets are also being looked at. Video of the crash shows the plane landing at the airport late Sunday, seconds later slamming into a fire truck that moves into its path.
Fox's CB Cotton at LaGuardia, where a controller had cleared the truck to cross the runway, but later was shouting for it to stop. An NTSB briefing expected soon. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Weather Seal Home Improvements. Thinking about a new roof? Make the smart choice with Weather Seal Home Improvements. Right now, when you replace your roof, you'll get a $500 gas card, a beautiful new roof for your home, plus $500 in gas. Yeah, that's a good deal. Schedule today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. We've got an accident on I-94 westbound after Woodward Avenue that's blocking your right shoulder. That accident on Middle Belt south of Wick Road has cleared. And we still have that wreck on I-696 eastbound after I-75. That's blocking your right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Overcast today, a little bit of sunshine peeking in later in the afternoon, a high of 46. Cloudy skies for tonight will drop down to 30. More clouds for Wednesday, a high of 57. Mix of sun and clouds right now, 43 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Join Kelly Cobb and Jarrett Skurup along with special guests as they tackle the issues Michigan residents are thinking about on the Mackinac Michigan Radio Show Wednesday night at 7 p.m. They take a deep dive on the issues that affect every resident and business owner in the state. What will you need to know? Find out on the Mackinac Michigan Show Wednesday at 7 p.m. The Mackinac Michigan Show, sponsored by the Frank Beckman Center for Journalism and the Mackinac Center for Public Policy.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
Thinking about installing a home EV charger? Lighthouse Electric has EV charger installs starting as low as $699. Call 888-91-LIGHT. From service upgrades to new construction and remodels, call Lighthouse Electric, 888-91-LIGHT. That's 888-91-LIGHT.
Spring is in the air. Hi, friends. Bill Golling here. And with the addition of Golling Chevrolet on Michigan Avenue in Wayne and Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Mack in Detroit, now even more of you can see and experience the Golling difference. Those dealerships join Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram locations in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Golling Toyota in Warren, Golling Kia in Madison Heights, or you can always find us at golling.com.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hey, let's go on a Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. We've got Beth Ann Long in the house. We've got Danielle Mason in the house as well. And we've got you joining us wherever you are. If you're driving down the road, hopefully you are enjoying a beautiful, sunshiny day. And yes, the sunshine is out. We're feeling good here as we head into the spring. Believe it or not, Tigers baseball begins on Thursday. They do open up in San Diego, but nonetheless, Tigers baseball is coming. That is a sure sign that spring is in the air. If you're watching us on YouTube, we say hello to you as well. We are waving. We got our YouTube numbers from last month, and it was incredible. So everybody that is watching on YouTube, as we try to grow our reach on this platform, we cannot thank you enough. And again, it's just another opportunity where we can meet you to give you another option, another way to watch us, another way to listen to us here on 760 WJR. If you're new to the program, good afternoon to you. We do stream on WJR's free mobile app. You can listen to us online, 760WJR.com. And of course, you can watch us on YouTube. If you go to the 760 WJR YouTube page, you could subscribe to the show. It will not cost you a thing. It'll just make it easier for you to find us when you are looking for us. So again, now that we've got that out of the way, I wanted to ask the ladies over there, have you guys seen or heard about these fireballs that happened last night? Viewers from all over Michigan shared these videos with us earlier today. Massive yellow, green fireballs exploded over the night. The National Weather Service has not been able to confirm whether these fireballs were meteors or something like that. But did you guys see videos of this? Did you hear about this?
I saw some videos of it, but I didn't see any.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't know the sky was falling.
Well, this is becoming a bigger deal because we saw 11 of these over the last 24, 36 hours.
Whoa.
Bright skies over Texas. One of these fireballs crashed into a home in Texas. It was said to be traveling through the night at 35,000 miles per hour before tearing into somebody's house. So things are falling out of the sky like we've never seen before. And this may have happened over the course of time, but now, Beth Ann, with all of these Ring cameras and doorbell cameras and cell phones, we are seeing this more and more and more.
This was not on my bingo card for 2026.
No doubt. Now that aliens.com has been, aliens.gov has been started by the federal government, you never know. Maybe they're getting mad at us up there.
They're getting mad that they're not a secret anymore.
And they're throwing down these fireballs, perhaps. But nonetheless,
Is this a publicity stunt for Project Hail Mary? They're trying to get more money.
I think you could be onto something, Dan. Yeah, we've got a great show for you today. We're going to hit on a couple of different topics. One front page above the fold today in the Detroit Free Press, a parent sues the Grosse Pointe schools over a ban tied to an LGBTQ plus flag in the classroom. Also, Michigan Democrats are opposing a proposal to bring in new voter ID standards. So we're going to touch on those very important issues. We also are going to be joined by Congressman John James, running for governor in the great state of Michigan here. He's going to join us at 3:18. So we'll look forward to that conversation. But first, let's get it out to Marie Osborne, who is following this story where Romulus city leaders are escalating their fight with the federal immigration and security agencies over this proposed detention center. Marie has the latest on this. Good afternoon to you, Marie.
And hi there, Ryan. So there was a press conference not too long ago, just a couple of hours ago, and Attorney General Dana Nessel and Romulus officials say they are now going to take this legal action in an attempt to prevent this ICE detention center from being built in Romulus. Dana Nessel, the Attorney General, saying today the Romulus warehouse is simply not and never will be an appropriate place for a large-scale detention center. And she just says there's too many concerns by Romulus residents and that this will impact them in a big way so that they have a say in this. The Romulus mayor, Robert McCrate said that there are wildlife concerns in the area. The site is prone to flooding and an environmental study needs to be conducted. He noted the facility would be an incredible burden, he said, on the city's limited public safety resources. Now, according to Dana Nessel, the government has violated the Administrative Procedure Act. They failed, she says, to adequately consider alternative facilities. She says there's things like prisons and jails and detention centers that already exist that can be used for this. They don't need to use this facility in Romulus. So what are we looking at that's coming up next? Well, the Attorney General and the city of Romulus now want the court to issue a preliminary injunction that would end all construction on the site until all of these things have been issued. So we don't know what the court is going to do right now, but they have now decided they are going to join together in this lawsuit, and they want the court to address it, at least for now.
And we've talked about this when this story first popped up, Marie. This is a really big story. It was the Romulus mayor that actually joined us. And regardless of how people feel about ICE or ICE detention centers or ICE officers or immigration policy, I wouldn't want one of these in my city either. There's plenty of abandoned buildings in cities all across the Metro Detroit region. If you were just a resident in Sterling Heights or Romeo or Grosse Pointe or St. Clair Shores or Romulus, I wouldn't want a jail in my neighborhood either. I mean, I understand where they're coming from in this fight.
Right. And also we might want to point out there's a lot of factories, facilities such as that are in somewhat rural locations too, that have good infrastructure. In other words, roads going in and out and so on that could possibly be used. I know that I've heard that in connection to this disagreement here, this argument that's being presented. So there are other places they could put this. Romulus just feels that, it's just too much of a burden. And I think one of their strongest points is that it would be a burden on their public safety resources. Romulus has a relatively small police department. This is going to add to their issues there.
I completely understand where they're coming from on this issue. And again, that's regardless how you feel. I do believe that we need ICE detention centers somewhere, but it's one of those things that I hate to say it. I wouldn't want one in my neighborhood. I mean, it's just quite simply put like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll talk to you coming up in the next hour, Marie. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Right now, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, who was confirmed by the Senate in a 54-49 vote, is being sworn in as the next Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. So we could talk about that. But I really want to get into this local issue here. A parent is suing Grosse Pointe schools over a ban tied to the LGBTQ plus flag. So we'll talk about that. I'm sure a lot of people will have opinions on it. If you want to line up and get on in, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. We're coming right back on a Tuesday. This is 760 WJR.
Average Al's Furniture Warehouse, our sofas have cushions, our tables have 4 legs, our recliners recline. So come on by for a perfectly average experience.
Cumulus Digital doesn't stop at average. We work with more than 4,000 local businesses every month, delivering campaigns that beat industry averages by over 25%, driving real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Whether you're starting an office, industrial, public sector, or healthcare real estate project, you're going to have questions.
How should we approach construction?
Are we getting the best real estate advice?
Lots of questions. At Plant Moran Real Point, our multidisciplinary team of real estate experts have decades of experience successfully guiding Michigan's largest real estate projects from concept to completion. Here's our point. To find the commercial real estate answers and guidance you need to succeed, let Plant Moran Real Point point the way. Learn more at pmrealpoint.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Our representative, Jack Bergman, is standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. He knows the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
We've got an accident on I-696 eastbound after I-75 that's blocking your right shoulder. We do have some construction slowing you down on I-696 eastbound from Orchard Lake Road to just past Franklin Road. Your 2 left lanes are blocked there. Another wreck blocking your right shoulder on I-94 westbound after Woodward. And steer clear of a crash blocking your right shoulder on I-96 westbound before the Davison. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
All right, a gray sky this afternoon, but the rain holding off. We'll start getting milder. Hit 39 yesterday. Today in the upper 40s. Let's go 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy, 35. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 55. Finally, some showers back in the forecast Thursday, upper 60s. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stejik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Wednesday on JR Morning, we're checking in with the TSA for the latest on the union stance regarding ICE at our airports. Plus, we have your Capitol report, and it's finally Wednesday, which means it's time to name that tune. Warm up those vocal cords and join the game. Catch us here 6 to 9 a.m. on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app.
All right, welcome back. 760 WJR. Michigan Congressman John James, running for governor in the great state of Michigan, will join us 1 hour from now at 3:18. We're looking forward to that conversation. Hopefully, you can join us then or come back or stay with us if you're out and about. I wanted to get to this local story getting national attention, and it is in regards to a parent in the Grosse Pointe Public School District who is suing the Grosse Pointe Public School System for violating what he says is his First Amendment right to free speech. He also says he is being defamed, and he was banned from district buildings after he posted a video critical of the LGBTQ plus flag in a classroom at Parcells Middle School in Grosse Pointe. This was a front page above the fold today in the Detroit Free Press. Georgia Kovanis wrote about it. It's getting national attention. The social media site Libs of TikTok has picked this story up. They are running with it. And according to the suit, Gary Pruitt is this gentleman's name. He was attending his child's back to school night, again at Parcells, when he saw a rainbow flag in the classroom. He contacted the principal. He claims he contacted the principal of the school. The principal then said, you've got to contact the superintendent. The superintendent says, you've got to contact the school board. Then, as claimed in this lawsuit, board member Valerie St. John wrote an email saying, quote, I can assure you that none of our teachers have been forced to hang rainbow flags in their classrooms. If any teacher is indoctrinating children into any sexual orientation, please report that to the principal, and as that would be inappropriate. However, if you are simply concerned that your child is seeing the colors of the rainbow, I would suggest sending them with tinted sunglasses so they aren't subjected to the full spectrum. So a little maybe jab at Mr. Pruitt there. Now, regardless of how you feel about the flag in the classroom, and we can get into that, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0WJR. So Mr. Pruitt took this video and posted it to a Facebook group, posing the question, do you want to continue to let these groomer teachers push their distorted worldview upon your children, or would you like to stand with us in speaking out against it? After that instance, Pruitt claims he was banned from district buildings and other facilities. Apparently, the police showed up to his home to deliver this message, this letter informing him of the ban. Now, there's a lot to unpack here about all of this. One of the issues is I think this has less to do with Pruitt's opposition to having the flag in the classroom and more to do with the way in which he went about it. Now, I'm no lawyer, and this is going to be adjudicated, and this will be spoken about, and this will be broken down. But one of the letters that was written to him was about the manner in which he went about this. This was sent earlier on or about September 30th, 2004. You, speaking of Mr. Pruitt, entered a Grosse Pointe Public School building at Parcells Middle School. While you were at the school, you filmed inside a classroom where a staff member was sitting at her desk, posted the resulting video on a Facebook page. In the video, you maintained a voice-over narrative where you asked, do you want to continue to let these groomer teachers push their distorted worldview upon your children? You also walked by the same teacher's classroom on at least 2 more occasions while you were in the building. Your actions intimidated the teacher, who was uncomfortable with your actions. Additionally, you walked the entire building and recorded a second teacher's classroom in the basement. This is where I have a problem with this whole situation. In 2026, or in this case, 2025, or in 2024, when this took place, you do not have free reign of a school. And if a teacher is sitting in her classroom, you cannot pull your phone out, film the halls of the school, and, say, oh, you're a groomer, call teachers' names in their own classroom. I don't believe you can do that. Now, a separate issue altogether, do you believe that, any flag other than the American flag or a state of Michigan flag should be hanging in a classroom? That's a completely separate issue. If you want to talk about it, I'm willing to have the conversation, 800-859-0WJR. But I think this particular story is all because this guy, unannounced, didn't have a appointment, is roaming the halls of a school, filming while teachers are in their classroom. You can't do that in this day and age, can you? You just don't have free reign of a school to potentially, and I think you can easily say this gentleman berated a teacher, calling her a groomer because she had a flag in her room. I'm not sure where this lawsuit is going to go. Because it does not sound like to me, reading the story, reading the complaint, seeing all of the different information about it, that this guy was right in his assertion to go hall by hall, classroom by classroom, harassing teachers. And I do think you can say the word harassment when you are filming a teacher's classroom and calling her a groomer of sexual representation. I just don't think I don't think you can do that. But a lot of this, you have no response really from the Grosse Pointe Public School District. And this is one of those situations where everybody has to lawyer up before you can say anything. Everybody's got to get their approval from their legal teams and everything like this, because this is the story that libs of TikTok have taken millions of views otherwise. And it's the same thing with, I don't know if you've seen this, our good friend Michael Bouchard, Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard, getting dragged, millions of views on this, claiming that he and the Oakland County Sheriff Department arrested somebody for some social media meme. Have you seen this story? Meanwhile, what that angle of the story failed to omit was that this person that was arrested had warrants. And that's why the person was arrested, because there were warrants out there. So people don't respond. People don't fight when there is people don't fight back in instances like this in a timely manner. I think the Grosse Pointe public school system should come out and make a very strong statement as to why this gentleman was banned from that building and from the district. We'll see where it goes, but maybe the correction to the story will be too late, because now this is the version that everybody is talking about. Grosse Pointe Public Schools grooming kids, having pride flags in the classroom. It's just it's one of those stories where we just take bits and pieces of stories and run with it without knowing the full accounting of the story. And that's where I am. You're going to hear a lot about this story. I'm sure it'll be on the news later today. I'm sure it'll be on national outlets as well. It already is. It's happening in our own backyard. So we'll keep an eye on it. If you've got a thought on that, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0WJR. Also, Michigan Democrats opposing a proposal to bring new voter ID standards. We'll get to that as well. Just getting started here on a Tuesday, 760 WJR.
This is Keith Kingston, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. 2025 taxes are due soon, but don't lose focus now on a business tax planning strategy for 2026 and even 2027. A proactive approach to planning year-round can reduce overall taxes in the long run and eliminate surprises next tax season. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
Spring is in the air. Hi, friends. Bill Golling here. And with the addition of Golling Chevrolet on Michigan Avenue in Wayne and Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Mack in Detroit, now even more of you can see and experience the Golling difference. Those dealerships join Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram locations in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Golling Toyota in Warren, Golling Kia in Madison Heights, or you can always find us at Golling.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The Senate trying to fund DHS and end this partial government shutdown. Senator John Kennedy says he and Senator Ted Cruz recently drafted up an idea he thinks would help end the shutdown. He tells Fox they pitched it Republican leadership, but...
We pitched this to Senator Thune a couple of days ago. He pitched it to President Trump. President Trump, as you know from his tweets, said no.
Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt announcing he'll be appointing Alan Armstrong to fill the now vacant seat in the Senate for newly appointed DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen.
I will admit to you, I'm a little bit I feel like I'm stepping off into the abyss with not exactly sure what I'm getting into, but I'm confident, got great team around me, great support around me. And I really do look forward to making a difference for the short time that I'm in the Senate.
America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have an accident blocking your right shoulder on I-94 westbound after Woodward. Another wreck in the construction area on I-696 eastbound after I-75. Your right shoulder is blocking off that portion of I-75 there. And that wreck on I-96 westbound before the Davison is cleared. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Overcast today, a high of 46. Cloudy skies for tonight will drop down to 30. More clouds for Wednesday, a high of 57. Right now, partly cloudy, 41 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. I want to tell you about my friends at Paramount Roofing. You know, living in Michigan, March is when we start to see what winter has done to our homes. All the snow, all the ice, all the wind, it takes a toll on your roof. When I met with owner Eric Reno and his team, they showed me just how easy they make the whole process. All you need to do is visit weareroofing.com. You're going to get an instant free roof quote. No waiting, no pressure, just real information. What I love is their approach. Everything is built to last and backed for life. A truly 5-star roofing experience. If you're worried about timing or budget, don't. Paramount Roofing offers no money down, plus 5 years, 0% interest. They handle both residential and commercial roofing. So whether it's your home, your office, the property you manage, they've got you covered. Spring is coming. Now it's up to you to check on that roof. Get an instant free quote today. weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Paramount Roofing.
I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. We make mortgages easy, and we believe transparency is the key to great client service. Our clients get the lowest rate and fees while communicating with one home loan advisor from start to finish. To make your experience even easier, we're going to cover the cost of your appraisal. Transparent and direct communication, lowest rates and fees, and a free appraisal. The client just means more at Hall Financial. 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, equal housing lender. NMLS number 1467435.
Wow, did you see this?
Barrett News Media. What is that?
Well, they're a national publishing and consulting firm. Media professionals all read their stuff. But look at who they have in the top 15 of the best radio shows in the entire country.
Oh, Focus with Paul W. Smith.
Yeah. JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And, of course, The Mitch Albom Show.
I guess that's what they mean when they say the great voices of the Great Lakes.
I always thought I had a pretty great voice. I really do.
Don't sing, hon. Don't. It ain't that great.
Barrett News Media says they're the tops in the country. Catch all of the great weekday shows and see for yourself the great voices of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Continuing to talk about this local story that has gotten national attention about a parent suing Grosse Pointe Schools over his ban. He was banned by the school district He says his First Amendment right was infringed upon, and he was defamed, banned from district buildings after he posted a video critical of an LGBTQ plus flag in a classroom. And look, I truly believe if you want to have the conversation, that's a separate conversation of if any flag should be displayed in a classroom other than the American flag or a state of Michigan flag. I'll have it if you want it, but take that aside. I truly believe in this case, it was the manner in which he went about filming. You cannot roam the halls of a school. You do not have free access to go up and down the halls, walking into classrooms, filming every classroom, seeing what is in there. And especially if teachers are sitting at their desk, you can't go up there, shove a phone in their face or a camera and say that they're grooming kids. Not in 24, not in 25, not in 2026. With all of the security issues we have at schools, you just don't have that latitude anymore, in my opinion. And I think that is the issue in this case. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Let me get to Sandy in Livonia. Good afternoon to you, Sandy.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good. I was listening to the radio, and then this subject came up, and well, I don't have any kids in the school system, and I never did because I didn't have any kids, but I still feel, there's a lot to the truth of what you're saying about the parents shouldn't have entered the school. However, my question is, who pays the taxes for the school systems and pays the teachers' salaries?
The city.
The teachers aren't being paid to involve themselves in the kids' lives on anything other than reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's like if I sent my kid to get piano lessons and the piano teacher took it upon herself or himself to teach my kids something else, I would be very resentful, and I can understand where that parent is coming from. And so I think the school systems need to be ordered not to fly anything other than the American flag and the state of Michigan flag, and to leave all these sexual orientation flags out of the classroom, because why should parents fear what's undermining them in school while they sent their innocent kid to school and he comes out of it with other types of questions?
Sandy,
who do they think they are?
Sandy, look, I think what you're saying, there are a lot of people that would agree with that. I think for the purposes of this story, there's a manner in which to go about complaining or wanting change. There is a process, and probably
Okay, well, they can do that, and this man was remiss a little bit for wanting to be protective of his kid, and he probably was incensed that it's taking place on the school grounds, and that's where the school is wrong. They should have told. I'm sure other teachers and the principal saw that flag hanging in the schoolroom, and they should have been the first to go to the teacher and say, take that flag down.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been that the parent came across it accidentally and then wants to protect his child.
Yeah, look,
So the school was remiss.
And there are plenty of lawsuits regarding this, not just in Grosse Pointe last month. And thank you so much for the call, Sandy. I appreciate your perspective. We appreciate all perspectives here on 760 WJR. Last month, the U.S. Department of Justice announced it was investigating 3 Michigan school districts surrounding their LGBTQ plus curriculum and policies regarding transgender students. This is a topic that riles everybody up, and it's understood. I completely understand the perspective about it, but again, there is a process that, in my opinion, there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. And I don't know, and I don't believe, and if there has been an instance of this, I will make a correction, but I don't believe this gentleman has ever gone to a school board meeting, presented, during public comment and said, hey, I am firmly against this. I think you guys should discuss this as a board and make some rulings about it. I don't believe that's been the case. So we're going to hear much more about this story. I'm sure you're going to get some kind of comment from the Grosse Pointe school district on this as well, because they have to comment on it. I understand pending litigation and lawsuits and everything like this, but this is such a one-sided issue. And look, I don't want any parent to be honest. I don't care what you're trying to fight. I don't believe that any parent should have just free reign of a school to go in the basement, go down the halls, go in class, do all this stuff, and berate teachers. And especially when those teachers are just in the classroom doing work at their desk. It's just not the right way to go about it. The fight may be worthy. You believe that a school is teaching your kids something and you want to fight for that. There's a process to go fight for that. I don't believe this is the right way. So 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. I wanted to follow up on a conversation that we had yesterday, and that was involving the Save America Act with the voter ID. Michigan Democrats are opposing that proposal to bring new voter ID standards. And I want to get to this story now. We did, by the way, put in a request to speak to Curtis Hertel, the chairman of the Michigan Democratic Party. And I wanted to say this. I cannot force people to come on the show with us. All we can do is put in the request, and people can either take us up on it or they don't have to take us up on it. And, John James is coming on today. Why do you always have Republicans on? Why do you always? They say yes. They say yes. The amount of times we have requested Gary Peters, Alyssa Slotkin, Debbie Dingle comes on with us. Debbie Dingle stayed on 2 segments with us. But I'll tell you, I can't force people to come on the show with me. All we can do is make the ask. And we did ask Curtis Hertel, chairman of the Michigan Democratic Party, to come discuss this Michigan Democrats opposing proposals to bring new voter ID standards. Before we get here, let me get to, now a lot of people are fired up about the school topic. Let me get to Nancy in Sterling Heights. How you doing, Nancy?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, Nancy. Thank you.
I'm a former high school teacher, retired now for a few years. I want to know to begin with, how did this man get into the school?
Well, that is again, I think there's some discrepancy there. I think there was a parent-teacher meeting, and then parent-teacher meetings, and then he got into the school and started roaming around. And I think that,
I see.
Yeah. So I think that's how that went down. But again, you can't do that, in my opinion.
No,
I don't know where you
can't.
stand on that, but in this day and age,
he has no business doing that. Years ago, I had a parent just walk into my classroom, not to talk to me, but she had to talk to her kid because he didn't do his chores at home.
Yeah, that's look, from your perspective, I'm sure that's probably a pretty scary spot to be in when somebody barges in your classroom.
It is. She just walked right into my classroom. After that, I kept my door closed and it was locked. And that was it. But parents have nobody has any business just walking into a school and making demands either. You have to, like you said, they have protocol. They talk to the teacher, they talk to the principal, then they can go to the school board and make their complaint.
I couldn't agree more with you, Nancy. And from an educator's point of view, I think you hit the nail on the head. Thank you so much for the call. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You got it. I'm up against a break. Coming right back. More of your phone calls, and I promise I'm going to get to this voter ID standards that the Michigan Democrats are now opposing. 760 WJR.
The child Today's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Clark Construction Company, thoughtfully planning and building educational facilities to foster innovation where students and faculty thrive. Visit clarkcc.com. For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? If so, tune in to Money Talks with Joseph Uplegger, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Joe will help make sure you get the retirement you deserve, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
Spring is in the air. Hi, friends. Bill Golly here. And with the addition of Golling Chevrolet on Michigan Avenue in Wayne and Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Mack in Detroit, now even more of you can see and experience the Golling difference. Those dealerships join Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram locations in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Golling Toyota in Warren, Golling Kia in Madison Heights, or you can always find us at golling.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Whoever said opposites attract was definitely talking about the new spicy menu at DQ. Spicy flamethrower chicken strips served with a dip of sweet DQ soft serve. Sounds wrong, but tastes so right. The new spicy menu at DQ. Happy tastes good. For a limited time at participating locations.
Oh, man, that sounds so good. I want one right now. We got an accident blocking your right lane on I-94 eastbound after Little Mac Avenue. I-94 westbound after Woodward Avenue. That accident is cleared, although we're still seeing a little bit of stop and go in that area. And construction blocks your left lane on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Right, a gray sky this afternoon with the rain holding off. We'll start getting milder. Hit 39 yesterday. Today in the upper 40s. Let's go 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy, 35. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 55. Finally, some showers back in the forecast Thursday, upper 60s. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Michigan Congressman John James will join us 30 minutes from now at about 3:18, running for governor in the great state of Michigan. We'll talk to Mr. James about all things happening, including a recent poll just out that has him as the leader in the clear leader for the Republican nomination. We'll get to that with him, but first go back to the phone lines, bring in Steve in Plymouth. How you doing, Steve? You're on 760 WJR.
Good, Ryan. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call. It's a very very important topic with the parents and schools and everything. In my opinion, this is one of the reasons why, with all the walkouts and things that are going on at schools, those shouldn't be happening. You're allowing people to basically, walk onto campuses and could possibly walk back in with these students. And it's a danger to our students. It's a danger to the teachers and the staffs and the communities by allowing these walkouts to occur. And it's just not conducive to the learning for the students, for all students. If they want to have these walkouts and everything, then hey, let's give them an avenue to do that and discuss it during the school day in the auditorium. Maybe have some debates and things and have it as a learning opportunity for the students rather than an opportunity to create divisiveness amongst the schools and the students, because that's all these things are doing. And it's like I said, it's creating an opportunity for something bad to happen at these schools. We hate to say it and hate to think that way, but that's where we're at right now as a society, and our protecting our kids is number one. And in the school systems, especially as large of a campus as we have here in Plymouth Canton community with all three schools, it's a nightmare to try and secure that place.
And you guys and Steve, you guys in Plymouth, stay on the phone with me if you would. You guys just had that walkout, I believe. Your high school there had the walkout against ICE just a couple of weeks ago. Large walkout, and again, these potentially could be safety.
And they're planning one for tomorrow also.
I did not realize these are safety risks as well. And I do believe the number one goal of school administrators, teachers, is to help keep the kids safe. And you raise an interesting point, and whether it's divisive or whatever, whether it's an LGBTQ flag, whether it's an ICE flag or an anti-ICE or a back the blue or something else, are you trying to create a conversation? What is the goal of all of this? That's why if you just put an American flag and a state of Michigan flag in there, maybe things like this don't happen. I don't know, but regardless, and again, I think the flag is a separate issue. It's the manner in which this particular guy went about to harass the school employees, the teachers. And again, when you stick a phone, Steve, in somebody's face, walk in unannounced to a classroom and call somebody, oh, are you trying to groom my kids? Are you trying to groom my kids? That's not the right way to go about it, in my opinion.
And that's, and I don't agree with that at all in what this gentleman did. But it's not to make an excuse for him either, but that's where we're at as a society. And until we can get to a middle ground, we are so far apart from common sense that our schools are the victims of it and our kids are the victims of it because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to think, and all they're thinking is what they see on their phones and TikToks and all these things. And until we can get back to a common sense reality of schools and education and what the kids are actually there for, these parents, they will continue to do this type of behavior. Not that it's right, but there's the extreme on both sides that feel, hey, this is my right to do this. Well, yes and no. You don't have the right to just walk into a building and yell fire.
Right.
You don't have the right to do those things. If someone was to walk into my place of business and do that, they would be arrested.
No. Good call, Steve.
So those are all points that need to be taken when thinking about our schools and the safety of the kids.
No, that's a good call, Steve. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, my man. We'll put a bow on. I hung up on myself. I hit the off button during Steve's call. That'll be the last word on that. I do want to move on to some other things, including this recent, statement and article. This is out of the Detroit News, but the Michigan Democratic Party formally sent out a press release. They are opposing a potential ballot proposal this fall. Craig Mauger, the writer on this story out of the News, and Curtis Hertel, the chairman of the Michigan Democratic Party, says the Michigan Democratic Party is urging voters to vote no on both measures. While supporters of the citizenship proposal have contended it will help safeguard elections, Hertel labeled it as a blatant attempt for Michigan Republicans to make it harder to vote and disenfranchise hundreds of thousands of Michiganders. And this is in regards to this Americans for Citizens voting measure on a separate question. Every 16 years, convening a convention to revise the state constitution. Do you need photo ID? Do you need proof of citizenship? Hertel is asking people to vote no on this. He says this is just a power grab attempt by Michigan Republicans who are desperate to limit access to the ballot box. Americans for Citizen Voting has not Americans for Citizen Voting said it is turning in more than 750,000 petitions to get on the November ballot. We just talked about this yesterday. Should this be a question on the ballot? If the Bureau of Elections eventually finds 446,000 signatures that are valid of the 750, this will be voted on in the fall. Currently, under state and federal law, all voters must be U.S. citizens. So we know now that in federal elections, in state elections, you must be a citizen. We got that part, but we don't care about if you prove it or not. This is where the discrepancy is here. Right here. This is where the discrepancy is. You must be a U.S. citizen to vote, but we don't care if you prove it. That's essentially what opposing this process does, in my opinion. Like I said, we asked Curtis Hertel, the chairman of the Michigan Democratic Party, come on with us and explain this. And I don't believe they didn't even get back to us. So again, we'll try to track them down on this. We can't force people to come on with us, but I think it's a really big issue that makes no sense to the average person. I really don't think it does. The American public are not on this side. Every poll, and we just did it yesterday, indicates that the American people are for proof of citizenship to register, photo ID to vote. And if you say it disenfranchises people, that's just not true. In the states that have instituted voter ID laws, proof of citizenship, Virginia just elected a bunch of Democrats, landslides. State of Georgia just had record turnout in 22 and again in 24. What's actually happening on the ground is not disenfranchisement. It's ramping up the vote. 760 WJR.
America, does anybody really believe that Washington, especially Congress, is going to reduce the debt? They're not. In fact, nobody even talks about it anymore. That has a massive impact on the value of the dollar and the currency. And it's only a matter of time, in my humble opinion, that this is going to implode. If your retirement is mostly stocks and bonds, you may be taking a risk, more risk than you think. Now, look, diversification, that's what real experts talk about. It's a hedge against instability. Have you noticed precious metals, silver and gold, are having a spectacular
Coming in 3, in 2. Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. Have you made the call yet? What needs to happen for me to get you to... Oh, let me do that again. Sorry. Coming in 3, in 2. Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. Have you made the call yet to my friends at Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth? I've been working with them since mid-October, and in that time, I tell you all the time, I have never felt better in my adult life. I've lost over 30 pounds, thanks to their medically based, specialized, personally, damn it, son of a gun, sorry. Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni. I want to tell you about my friends at Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth. Have you made the call yet? What are you waiting for? I've been working with them since mid-October, and in that time,
foreign minister has held calls with several countries looking to act as mediators. The president taking questions in the Oval Office after the swearing in of Senator Mark Wayne Mullen as the new head of Homeland Security.
I don't care what color your state is. I don't care if you're red or you're blue. At the end of the day, my job is to be Secretary of Homeland and to protect everybody the same. And we will do that.
His department is more than 5 weeks into a funding shutdown that's causing TSA staffing issues and long security lines at airports as Democrats push for immigration enforcement reforms. The president moments ago not ruling out support for using a budget process to get around the Senate filibuster to end the shutdown. The NTSB just holding a briefing on the deadly collision of an Air Canada plane and a fire truck Sunday night at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
We have seen different information about how many certified professional controllers were in the facility.
NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says there were 2 air traffic controllers on duty in the tower cab less than 2 hours into a night shift at the time. But they're still working to verify who was handling which duties. Also just confirming the fire truck involved did not have a transponder, which is needed to trigger a warning system. Preliminary information from the cockpit voice recorder just released shows the truck heading to an incident involving a different flight was granted clearance to cross the runway less than 30 seconds before the recording ends. The tower telling the truck to stop at 9 seconds and 4 seconds. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
An accident blocks your left shoulder on I-94 westbound after 10 Mile. Road work blocks your left lane on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. Looks like you're slow from Livernois. You still have that wreck on Groesbeck at 14 Mile Road, and steer clear of an accident blocking your right lane on I-94 eastbound after Little Mac. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Mostly cloudy this afternoon. We'll stay in the low 40s. Cloudy skies for tonight, dropping down to 30. More clouds for Wednesday, a high of 57. Partly cloudy right now, 41 degrees. I'm Rich Buzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
When it comes to your financial future, trust and confidence matter. Secure Financial Group in Troy can help you plan, protect, and prosper. With a commitment to your goals in mind, they personalize strategies that fit your life. Whether you're saving for retirement, growing your wealth, or securing your legacy, their expert advisors are here to help you every step of the way. Visit securefg.com. That's securefg.com. Take the first step toward making your financial future secure. Secure Financial Group. Ready to buy, sell, renovate, or reimagine your home? Don't miss Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, Saturday and Sunday at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Explore exhibitors covering every stage of the home journey, from real estate to remodeling. Bring the whole family for interactive exhibits, and attendees can win up to $25,000 in home improvements. Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, Saturday and Sunday. Grab advanced discount tickets at largestrealestateshow.com. That's largestrealestateshow.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a beautiful spring March afternoon. Hopefully you're having a great day today. We are having a phenomenal day in the building. Aren't we, Beth Ann?
It's a great day here.
Aren't we, Danielle?
I'm having fun.
All right. Good job. We are going to have fun in hour number 2. Michigan Congressman John James will join us in about 10, 12, 13 minutes or so. 3:18 he'll join us. We'll talk to him about everything happening in the world of news locally and around the country. Give you some insight. So early in the morning, I don't even know what time. I wake up at 4:30, so I don't even know what time it is. But every day, Marie, myself, and Beth Ann will powwow about some of the stories of the day. And Marie sent this one to us as I'm eating. Now, I was eating my blackberries. Marie was, or excuse me, Beth Ann, you were eating.
I was eating strawberries and blueberries.
Perfect. And I think Marie was enjoying some breakfast as well. But I'm not sure if we should say enjoying, because the annual list of the Dirty Dozen in produce is out. And you're going to want to check your grocery cart. WJR's Marie Osborne with the details. Hey, Marie.
Hi there. Yeah, I was eating the strawberries as I was reading this. So, yeah, not very appetizing. Okay, we're talking about findings, new ones from the Environmental Working Group, and they're really raising some concerns about what we are putting in our carts from the produce aisle. This is the 2026 Shopper's Guide to Pesticides in Produce. It's a report, and they found that leafy greens, especially spinach, along with the very big favorites like strawberries, grapes, and cherries, contain some of the highest levels of pesticide residues in recent government tests. Rounding out this year's Dirty Dozen are nectarines, peaches, apples, blackberries, pears, potatoes, and blueberries. So we all ate our dose of toxins today. Spinach ranked number 1, containing more pesticide residue by weight than any other product tested. And that's typically 4 or more different pesticides per sample. Now, here's how this scientific review happened. They took 54,000 fruit and vegetable samples, all collected by the USDA. This produce was washed and peeled thoroughly before being tested, yet researchers still found traces of 264 different pesticides. And for the first time, this report found PFAS. They noted this. These are called the forever chemicals that we've been hearing so much about. More than 60% of the Dirty Dozen samples contained at least one PFAS pesticide. And of course, these chemicals are linked to cancer, hormone disruption, immune system damage, or other serious health risks. So now what should we do? Stop eating this? Of course not. Instead, this organization is saying
might be an option.
It might be.
I'm kidding.
But here's some of the things we can do. Choose more items from the Clean 15, and that includes pineapples, sweet corn, avocados, onions, and cabbage, or buy organic versions of these most contaminated fruits and vegetables whenever you can. And again, always remember that washing your produce under running water, even if it's organic, can help reduce the exposure.
You know, people fight the good fight. And then when you see stories like this, there's no wonder why people get sick. People get severely sick. People gain weight. They got all this junk in their system. All kinds of messes out there, Marie. Very important story.
Yes, I would say. And again, just either buy, if you can afford it, buy organic, or just really do a good job washing your fruits and vegetables.
Or grow it yourself, right?
Yeah, there's that too.
It's almost garden season, my friend. Thanks, Marie. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You got it. All right. John James going to join us in just a couple of minutes, but I did want to get you caught up on, I think this is promising news here. And it's in regards to the government shutdown. So President Trump, as we know, deployed ICE agents to airports around the country to help TSA officers as this shutdown continues. And now here, 14 airports across the country, ICE agents have been deployed to. Now here's where I don't think anybody's seen any at Detroit Metro, but Detroit Metro was on the list. There were reports yesterday nobody saw any no ICE officers anywhere at DTW. But again, of the 14 airports listed, Detroit Metro is on the list. So Sunday, over 3,450 agents called out. I'll repeat that number. Over 3,450 TSA agents called out. That's a rate of 11.76%. That's the highest number it's been. Over 450 agents have quit altogether since the shutdown started. And you look at those long lines at airports around the country. How about this? You want to know the call-out rates at individual airports? 41.5% in Atlanta. 42.3% in New Orleans. 39% in Houston. 38% in Washington, D.C. At JFK in New York, 37%. That is completely insane and completely unsustainable. You cannot continue this shutdown, and maybe we won't have this shutdown much longer. There is some movement in regards to this. Fox News reporting that Chuck Schumer and President Trump were on the phone last night until about 1 o'clock, and they have agreed to the framework of a deal. Everything would be funded except ICE. ICE is funded through 2029, by the way, as part of the big, beautiful bill. But a reconciliation package would be passed in the Senate and the House on simple majorities that would take care of ICE separately, meaning any type of reforms wouldn't take place. But they are going to take place anyway because there's a new DHS secretary that was just sworn in. Markwayne Mullin, Tom Homan, they want to make changes. And the timing could be as early as today. The president just spoke at the White House during the swearing in of Markwayne Mullin as DHS secretary. He said that they are getting closer, but there is no deal yet. Many top Democrats, including Tim Kaine, has confirmed that the talks have been positive. So perhaps we're getting closer to the end of the government shutdown. But Fox News earlier today reporting that we could see a deal as early as today, but absolutely by this week. 450 officers, TSA agents, have quit outright. Maybe you can get some of them back. Who knows? But it's unsustainable. You can't have air traffic like this. Congressman John James going to join us next. 760 WJR.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Quick story. I needed new glasses. And like many of you, I thought, well, I can go online. That's easy. But then I remembered the last time I did that, it wasn't easy. They didn't look good on me, and they weren't cheap. So then what? You can't take them back to the store. It's the web. Then I remembered Direct Optical Optique. Many of you got your glasses there. You looked great and had a wonderful experience. And that's what I remembered, the experience. I remembered Mariana, Frame Stylist of the Year, and how great she and her staff were at helping me find the right frame at a good price. And that's all we want, right? And they have two great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to the IKEA. Go see Mariana at Direct Optical Optique. She still knows everybody by name. 3 generations of loyal customers for a reason, because you get the attention you deserve. Direct Optical Optique in West Bloomfield and in Canton, and at OptiqueDetroit.com.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk with The Vince Show.
It is a reflection of your response to this program that we get to take this thing to the next level. These gigantic shows. This is going to be so much fun. It's unbelievable.
In-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
I've got updates. I've got big stories. We'll sort through the truth of what's really going on. So buckle up. Here it comes.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at TurboTax.com/free.
Explore food security through stories, strategies, and solutions that empower communities and inspire action. Hear thought leaders from across the state on Food Secure Nation with Dr. Phil Knight and Jerry Brisson. Sunday nights at 9 on 760 WJR. Sponsored by Know Better, Do Better.
This is Keith Kingston, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. 2025 taxes are due soon, but don't lose focus now on a business tax planning strategy for 2026 and even 2027. A proactive approach to planning year-round can reduce overall taxes in the long run and eliminate surprises next tax season. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
Guess Who's back? Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman reunite as the Guess Who for the Taking It Back Tour at Pine Knob Music Theater Friday, July 3rd. You could win tickets on us. Text keyword UNDONE to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by Live Nation. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
The I-275 southbound off-ramp to westbound M14 closed for construction through early November. We still have that wreck blocking your right lane on I-94 eastbound after Little Mac. You're slow from 12 Mile. And we picked up a wreck on Groesbeck Highway at 14 Mile. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
All right, a gray sky this afternoon with the rain holding off. We'll start getting milder. Hit 39 yesterday. Today in the upper 40s. Let's go 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy, 35. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 55. Finally, some showers back in the forecast Thursday, upper 60s. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Searching and searching up and down the dial for NCAA men's basketball. All the most important games from this week's giant matchup right down to the final game. What are you searching for? You're already there. The NCAA playoffs are here, courtesy of Westwood One on 760 WJR.
.760 WJR. Welcome in on a Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's having a great day out there. Want to welcome in Congressman John James, running for governor in the great state of Michigan. New poll came out today, shows him the clear leader in the clubhouse for the Republican nomination. Anytime these polls come out, Congressman James, I'm sure it's a good day to see your name at the top and everything like that, but there's still plenty of work to do. How are you doing today, sir?
Plenty of work to do, and that's absolutely right. We've been leading in the polls by double digits since this time last year, but we're not complacent. I'm a combat veteran, and I know that complacency kills. And we're out there putting in the work all over the state, talking to folks individually, listening to their concerns, because as a veteran, I understand you have to listen and learn before you lead. We have a remarkable opportunity to get our state back on track, and I'm excited to put the work in and earn your vote.
You know, Congressman, I wanted to ask you about this polling, because as part of this poll that came out today, Governor Whitmer had a 50% approval. And I'm just curious, and I talked about this in the past too, because there seems to be some sort of a misconception almost with how well the state is doing compared to her approval rating, because the state is not doing well. $1 billion spent in education. We're among the worst states in education. Lost $1 billion of income in 2023. We used to have a surplus. Now we have a huge deficit. Our budget went from about $57 billion to over $80 billion. We basically don't have much to show for it. What is the disconnect from how poorly our state is doing, but how Governor Whitmer's approval rating is 50% or higher in some cases?
Well, I think it's just a reflection of folks putting their partisan jerseys on. But I'll tell you, the parents and families and from farms to factories all over the state are hurting. You are absolutely right. An additional $1 billion into our education, and our kids still can't read. You look at places like Detroit. The poverty with children in Detroit is 1 in 2. You look at our unemployment, number 2 in the entire nation, unemployment. And at the same time, our damn roads still aren't fixed. When we are looking at the fact that Gretchen Whitmer is spending $20 billion more per year than she spent during the pandemic, which is almost exactly 6 years ago, and she's requesting an additional 50% more in our budget than she got when she first came into office. These are things that people are upset about, that we lack the leadership. But it's frankly the people who will actually show up will have relief. Her term is over, and we have an opportunity to get our state back on track. And this happens throughout history. Since the early 80s, we've gone from Republican to Democrat, Republican to Democrat, Republican to Democrat, and we're due to get our state back on track. And so I'm excited to bring experience that I've developed in combat, experience that I did actually creating jobs. And then I'm the only one in this race who's actually cut your taxes with no tax on tips, and making sure we have R&D tax credits, and making sure that we're able to lower our taxes around the state so we can fire up our economy and get more people to the American dream. I'm excited to present an opportunity for our state to make Michigan great again. And I think that's going to bode well for our children in the future.
You know what? That's an important message to share, Congressman, because I don't know if you just saw this IRS data story that came out. So the IRS releasing data from years 2022 and 2023. Red states have gained $37.2 billion in income in 492,000 filers. Blue states have lost $40 billion in income and 520,000 filers. Where is Michigan on this list? Michigan is in the bottom 10 on this chart. The state lost $1 billion of income. They are among the bottom 10 when it comes to this. And again, it's just one of these things where policy dictates where your state is going. People are voting with their feet, it appears, Congressman James, and people are moving to the policies of those that have red states. 9 of the top 10 winners in this IRS released data are states that Donald Trump won in 2024.
Well, that's exactly right. But you know what? There's better days to come. I'm the only Republican who beats both Democrats in all the public polls, and we have an opportunity to turn our state around. We don't have to imagine a brighter future for Michigan. We just have to remember what we've already done. We just have to look around and see that states with conservative governors, with conservative policies and low taxes are growing, and states that have Marxist governors with high taxes in blue states are shrinking, losing population. And don't worry, though, right? Democrats are still pushing tax initiatives on the ballot because they still haven't learned. Look, money and talent flow to where they are treated with the most respect, and we're going to bring common sense back to Michigan. We're going to bring back local control. We're going to bring back a business environment where everyone can thrive and everyone can have a better future. And so I'm excited for the opportunity to lead and, frankly, give you back the control that you deserve.
Let me ask you this, Congressman. This was a story that's going on. President Trump even commented on it today, talking about voter ID standards. The Michigan Democrats oppose a proposal to bring new voter ID standards. Curtis Hertel, chairman of the Michigan Democratic Party, who we did offer an opportunity to come on and explain. We have not heard back yet from him, but just this idea of voter ID To me, I'm not sure where you stand. Well, I probably am sure where you stand. It seems like such a pretty basic thing. Are you an American citizen? Can you prove it to register to vote? Can you show a picture ID to vote? It seems pretty basic.
Well, I mean, this is why Democrats are against it, because they can't get elected in a fair election. You see it in Minnesota with their voter import schemes. This is why this is an issue for them. The Save America Act is simple. It ensures that we can trust our elections. If you can't trust your elections, you can't trust your leaders. It requires a photo ID for voting. It requires proof of citizenship to register to vote. It requires states to remove non-citizens from voter rolls. And this isn't something that's partisan. Not only do 95% of Republicans agree, but 71% of Democrats. 83% of all Americans agree with only Americans voting. And I would imagine why Michigan Democrats are in disagreement with this, but don't take my word for it. Judge David McKeague, in his opinion, with one of the lawsuits, said in defiance of the U.S. Constitution and state election law, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson manipulated the presidential ballot in Michigan. That is a legitimate court decision that came down, and the woman right now who's running for governor in the Democrat ticket, who's the front runner, is the same person who's responsible for watching the election. This is the same person who let at least 16 non-citizens vote in the 2024 election. And Anthony Forlini in Macomb found 239 non-citizens on jury pools. But don't worry, I'm leading the fight with Oversight Chairman James Comer to get to the bottom of the rot in Michigan, because you deserve to trust your elections.
You know, I asked the question yesterday to the people, and it's almost like, do our elected leaders work for the people? Do they represent the will of the people? Because you just listed a number of stats, and again, CBS News YouGov came out with a new poll after all of this discussion about voter ID laws, and again, 95% of Republicans, 79% of independents, 65% of Democrats. I mean, this is a nonpartisan issue. The American people want this. Why it's being talked about as if it's something that it's not, there's just not a good reason for it.
And, I think it's also comical that you now have Democrats talking about the possibility of elections being stolen or elections being manipulated, when we remember in recent past when simply asking a question was heresy. We owe the people an answer as leaders. And I don't trust a government that doesn't trust me, and you shouldn't either. And so making sure that we pass the Save America Act, which I'm a co-sponsor of the Save America Act. We passed it through the House multiple times. And so we're going to continue to make sure that we focus on giving the people what they demand and deserve by making sure that we have proof of ID for voting. And as governor, I'm going to make sure that we abide by the law. And anybody who seeks to skirt that is held accountable.
I just think it's extremely insulting to women as well to say that married women aren't, can't figure out how to, prove their citizenship or register to vote. I mean, that's the insinuation that I take when they say, well, it's going to be hard for women to vote. It's going to be hard for rural America to vote. It's going to be hard for minorities to vote. People can figure it out, and maybe our state and local governments can help people figure it out as well. It feels like such a layup legislatively to me.
Well, it's not just a layup legislatively, but you would also agree it's also the right thing to do.
Yes.
It's the right thing to do, and that's why we should do it, and for no other reason. I think it's tremendously insulting to women and to African Americans to say that we couldn't figure this out. These are things that to exercise our rights, it's reasonable to exercise your responsibilities as well. We have a Second Amendment that absolutely shall not be infringed and will not when I'm governor, but you need an ID to exercise that right. So what's the Democrats' stance on that? So I think this is absolutely something that must be maintained. We have duties for our rights and our responsibilities, and frankly, having cheaters who have been found in court 5 times, lost for overstepping her authority in Jocelyn Benson's case for making her own rules. Apparently, they want to talk about no kings, but queens are just fine. She's lost in court 5 times. She's making her own rules. That's tyranny. And the people are standing up against it, which is why I'm standing with the people. I am for the people, and we're going to save America.
Congressman John James, hardest question that you'll get today. Where are you watching Michigan and Michigan State on Friday night, 7:10, 9:45, back-to-back games? How's your bracket? What do you make of the games? I got less than a minute.
My bracket, oddly enough, is holding up pretty well. We have 6 teams in the Big Ten still in the Sweet 16, and sadly, 3 of those teams are in the South Division. But I think that we're going to have great. Hopefully, I will have the opportunity to watch the games with my young sons. My middle son's birthday is on Saturday. Happy birthday, Hudson! I love you. And so we're going to try to make sure that I am going to be getting out to the nominating convention out in Novi. That's going to be a great time, meeting folks, shaking their hands, talking to them. But also going to be making some time for my little boy on his birthday.
Happy birthday, Hudson. Congressman, we appreciate you saying yes and coming on with us. And again, we put the ask out there. I can't drag anybody to join me, but we always appreciate it when you do, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
You got it. John James, Congressman from the great state of Michigan, running as a Republican to be the next governor. We are way over for a break. We're coming right back, 760 WJR.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Duke's Mayo. Duke's, it's got twang.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Lombardo Homes. Looking for upscale, stare-free living? Discover Everly of Macomb. Stunning ranch-style homes built for comfort and convenience. Visit everlyofmacomb.com today to explore their limited-time exclusive offer. That's everlyofmacomb.com. It's this logo on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. Also on I-94 eastbound between I-96 and Connors Street. And we still have that accident on Woodward northbound at the Davison. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Cloudy skies for tonight will drop down to 30. More clouds for Wednesday, high 57. Partly cloudy right now, 41 degrees. I'm Rich Luzenski, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire
Tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Spring is in the air. Hi, friends. Bill Golling here. And with the addition of Golling Chevrolet on Michigan Avenue in Wayne and Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Mack in Detroit, now even more of you can see and experience the Golling difference. Those dealerships join Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram locations in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Golling Toyota in Warren, Golling Kia in Madison Heights, or you can always find us at golling.com.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets. The Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories.
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
But at a depth and breadth that only Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day.
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
And into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
And again, just wanted to thank Congressman John James. I always appreciate the time of our elected leaders. Congressman James joins us all the time. Congressman Tim Wahlberg will join us all the time. Congresswoman Debbie Dingell has said yes every time we have reached out. 80% of the time we've reached out to Congresswoman Dingell, she says yes. And we certainly appreciate that. We've had Senator Peters on with us at one point. It was a great conversation. I thought it was a fair conversation. We've tried to reach out to him a couple of times, and it just hasn't worked. But there is correspondence with him and his team, and very courteous. I don't believe we've ever had any contact whatsoever with Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin. Just never reaches back. No, nothing. I mean, and I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you how the sausage is made. I have no problem with that. Part of what we do here is we try to have a fair representation of the people that represent you in Washington. And, it's one of those things. We invited Michigan Democratic Party leader Curtis Hertel today to talk about what we talked about with John James. It's this article that was in the Detroit News about Michigan Democrats opposing proposals to new voter ID standards. Look, the voter ID, this is among this and TSA agents. The two of the biggest stories that affect the American people, people in the state of Michigan, more than just about anything else, or at least it has dominated. Let me maybe say it this way better. Those two topics have dominated the political conversation. The Save America Act, voter ID, TSA agents, DHS funding, that has completely dominated the political conversation. And so people that can affect that, we want to talk to. And we just had a lady, and Beth Ann can chime in if you want. You don't have to, you can. But just, you mentioned voter ID and the SAVE Act. Some lady called in and just cussing you out.
Yeah, completely. This was her second call in the past 20 minutes. She called during John James's interview too, saying, "You're lying. You guys are all lying to your people.
We're all liars."
And I was like, okay, thank you for calling. Calls back again and just cussing us out. And I asked her, well, do you want to talk to Ryan? And she's like, why would I ever talk to you guys? And I'm like, well, why are you calling then?
Right. Why would she hop on the air and talk to me and have a civil conversation about it, or back up. This is the problem. So I always am fascinated by conversations like this because I do believe the only time people name call is when you are losing an argument. When you don't have any factual basis or any factual ground to make your argument stand up on, that's when you resort to name calling. You're a Nazi. You're a this. You're a that. You're whatever. You're bleeping bleep whatever. That you're poor Beth Ann. She's just over there. She's not doing anything. Yell at me. Don't yell at her. If you don't agree with something, and again, if you cannot answer a basic question, with the SAVE Act, the Save America Act, and voter ID, the narrative about it does not support what's actually happening on the ground. And I think that is the point that I'm going to try to hammer out more than anything. It is not Jim Crow 2.0. It does not prevent women from voting. It does not prevent minorities from voting. And the reason why I know that is because in states that already have voter ID or proof of citizenship laws on the books already, and there are 36 states, you don't see any of this. And again, I bring up Virginia just recently in 2024, just a landslide, Democrats up and down the aisle. State of Georgia, very similar voter laws passed as if it was the Save America Act. In 2022, record turnout for a midterm. In 2024, record turnout for a presidential election. This is not voter suppression. And the reason I know that, that's not my opinion. That's what we've actually seen. And again, I'm going to bring back this piece of sound from Real Time with Bill Maher. Played it for you yesterday. I'm going to play it for you again today. They were talking about the Save America Act. This is Paul Begala, longtime Democratic strategist, believing that we should pass this and that Democrats should get in line with this. With Anna Luna Paulina, Republican Congresswoman. But again, listen to what Paul Begala and Bill Maher, noted Democrat, noted liberal, have to say about it.
83% of independents, 71% of Democrats, and 76% of black voters are okay with this. We could have a grand bargain, couldn't we? Where, like, how about Election Day is a national holiday?
I agree with that.
Really?
Round of applause. We should give an. I certainly do. Encourage people to vote.
Get a picture ID. Right. And we'll pay for it. The government will pay, because some people can't, because a lot of people can't vote because they just don't have it and they can't afford it. A passport costs $165. Couldn't we just get one win on the board with this without playing games? Paul.
Democrats should agree to voter ID, period.
I like
and
that.
Republicans,
I'll
they should.
Voter
and
ID.
Republicans should. 36 states already have voter ID. I live in Virginia. We have it. The Democrats just won a landslide and elected the first black speaker of the Virginia General Assembly. So it's not some racist thing. It's not. So they ought to do that. But
I mean, that's Paul Begala. If you know anything about Paul Begala, I mean, it is just like a regurgitation of every liberal policy and every liberal talking point that there is, except this. I just don't get it. Why the party itself? Because I think if the party can come a little bit back to the center, I mean, you should be propping up as a party John Fetterman, not AOC. If you want to win national elections once again, prop up a guy like Fetterman, somebody center left. That will bring the party back to the mainstream. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. AOC, Mamdani, you're just not going to win a national election that way. More Fettermans, less AOC, 760 WJR.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
At Michigan Medicine, we know the best care for you
is always the care that's up to you. That's why we fight for your rights as patients to get world-class care close to home with the providers you choose. We're fighting the insurance denials that stand in the way of leading-edge care. Plus, we're making sure your doctors, nurses, and pharmacists have everything they need to support you. Michigan Medicine, fighting for the care you deserve. Learn more at uofmhealth.org/fight for patients.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Spring maintenance isn't just about looks, it's about safety too.
Check your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms.
Inspect decks and railings for loose boards or winter damage before outdoor gatherings begin.
And seal driveway cracks now before spring moisture makes them worse.
For the area's most trusted contractors to help you with your next home project, visit the guys at InsideOutsideGuys.com. That's InsideOutsideGuys.com.
Sponsored by Performance Remodeling.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday with Performance Remodeling and their Red, White, and Renew promotion. To celebrate, you can get up to 25% off and up to $250 in cash just for getting a quote on windows, roofing, or siding. Don't miss out on this American-made offer. Visit windowsroofingsiding.com and sign up today. Performance Remodeling, proudly improving homes the American way.
Performance Remodeling. Your home is our business.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
Look out for a wreck on Woodward northbound at the Davison, a slow go on the Lodge northbound between the Davison and Wyoming, and another accident blocking your left shoulder on I-696 westbound at DeQuinder. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
All right, a gray sky this afternoon with the rain holding off. We'll start getting milder. Hit 39 yesterday, today in the upper 40s. Let's go 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy, 35. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 55. Finally, some showers back in the forecast Thursday, upper 60s. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
After an accident, help shouldn't be on hold. That's why only Femininio Law has the accident response team. We work for you, we meet with doctors, we preserve the evidence. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
.760 WJR. Before I get to Steve Courtney, I just saw this story. I just absolutely love it. Delta has taken a perk away from members of Congress. We used to let them get right through the line and come up and board and do everything. Nope. You got to wait like everybody else during the government shutdown. I love Delta for doing this more than I've ever loved them before. Get back to work. Figure it out. End this government shutdown. Steve Courtney, never shies away from the perks of the job. I was
Whatever
trying to
those
get,
may be.
I was trying to get a transition in there.
Mr. Ryan, hopefully all is well with you. I know things are pretty darn good with our Pistons. Look what happened last night at Little Caesars Arena. The Pistons playing host to LeBron and the Lakers, a team coming in, by the way, who had won 9 straight. The Pistons, of course, for the 3rd straight time, and there'll be plenty of others, sadly, without Cade. They were without Beef Stew as he continues to nurse that calf injury. But guess who they did have? Danis Jenkins. He scores a career-high 30 points, including 6 in the final 34 seconds, and oh, they were big. And the Pistons end that Lakers 9-game winning streak with that 113-110 win last night. The Pistons, they did allow the monster, Luka Doncic, to score 32, although he was relatively cold in the first half, 5 of 15 from the floor, but credit Asar Thompson for some stellar D. Remember, Doncic, as we discussed yesterday there, Ryan, averaging 38.7 points per game. Jalen Duren, once again a factor, added 20 points to go along with 10 rebounds. LeBron, scoreless, actually, in the first half. He finished with 12 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. So 11 games left for the Pistons. They will host the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night. That will be game 3 of the 4-game homestand. The Boston Celtics idle last night, so the Pistons extend their lead over them in the Eastern Conference to 5 games, the Knicks 5.5 off, and the Cavs 8 games off the pace. And Ryan, while I have your attention, my friend, this is pretty cool. Cade Cunningham's eligibility for individual honors, such as a spot on the All-NBA team, is kind of in doubt because of the 65-game rule for such awards. And the Players Association said today that should not be the case. Now, the NBA Players Association, which through collective bargaining agreed to this rule as part of the current agreement between the league and its players. Here's the quote, and again, it's substantial. Cade Cunningham's potential ineligibility for postseason awards after a career-defining season is a clear indictment of the 65-game rule, and yet another example why it must be abolished or reformed to create an exception for significant injuries. This is what the union said through a spokesman. Since its implementation, far too many deserving players have been unfairly disqualified from end-of-season honors by this arbitrary and overly rigid quota. Now, Cade has appeared in 61 games, and we all know the type of season he's had. He's expected, of course, to miss several more as he recovers from the collapsed lung. If he misses too many, of course, he will fall short of that 65-game threshold. But, kudos to the Players Association for pointing this out and the season that Cade has had.
And, also kudos to the NBA because both things can be true. There was a time where NBA players took off night after night after night, and the pendulum always swings so far one way in any direction, given the topic. But we had NBA players taking a Tuesday night off because they were whatever. They didn't want to play, whatever the case. So they institute this rule. Now, the NBA should, in my opinion, go case by case. You know that Cade Cunningham is not taking a load management night. He was injured. He's played up to the capabilities.
Right.
And I think you can make a case-by-case assumption or a Cade exemption. Maybe this could be part of something in the NBA called a Cade Cunningham rule, where you know this player is a first-team All-NBA player that was injured. So by the spirit of the law, though, I understand why the NBA did it, but this should be scrapped for this case specifically.
Well, and I think that's the stance of the Players Association, because I saw a clip of Draymond Green, the former Spartan, kind of going off on this rule and mentioning by name Cade in the season that he's had, and just how egregious it is that this 65-game rule is going to affect his postseason honors. Meanwhile,
I was just going to say quickly, Steve, like a guy like Steph Curry, he's got, quote unquote, a knee injury, and I'm not sure if that's real or not. But the Warriors just played at the Palace, or not the Palace, the Little Caesars Arena this week.
Retro.
They come here one game a year. And, to not play Steph Curry, to not play a game here in Detroit when those premium games prices for the tickets, I just think that's wrong.
Well, and if he's injured, okay, that's one thing. I get it. But then there's the other side. So, by the way, LCA will be used for a different purpose tonight. That would be your Red Wings hosting the Ottawa Senators. Yes, another big hockey game for the Winged Wheelers. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock or so. The Senators, by the way, coming in, looking to keep their 3-game win streak going. They beat the Rangers 2-1 last night at MSG. Now, the Red Wings and Senators meeting for the 4th time this season, and hopefully a trend continues here. The Red Wings won the previous meeting back on February 26, 2-1 in overtime. Dylan Larkin, the captain, scoring 2 goals in that win. As a matter of fact, the Red Wings in the previous meetings undefeated against this team from Ottawa. Speaking of the captain at last word, he was going to be a game-time decision. How huge, Ryan, would it be to get him back in the lineup? Red Wings 3-1 since he went out with that leg injury on March 6th.
And, he said he got lucky today, and thankfully, and I think 3-1 without Larkin might be probably the best you might be able to do, especially with the schedule that you had. So here we go. The playoffs are done. The Red Wings want to make the playoffs. The playoffs are now. They are tonight. They are every game till the end of the season. Are you good enough to get in? And, they're on the outside looking in right now.
Well, and we all know what the battle cry is. Everybody in that Red Wings dressing room understands what the task at hand is. And, of course, that's to win hockey games. When you look at what's going on in the Atlantic, you can't let it slip away. Buffalo with 95 points, Tampa with 91, Montreal with 86, Boston with 86, the Red Wings right there with 84. But the problem here is the Red Wings on the outside looking in as far as the wild card. Boston holds the top spot. The Islanders hold the second. And look, Ottawa is right there with 83 points. So you'd be doing yourselves a lot of good to get a W tonight.
Big time favor in Montreal going up against that juggernaut of Carolina Hurricanes as well. So we'll see what happens. Steve-O, you're the man, bud. Appreciate you.
All right. See you soon there, Ryan.
You got it, my friend. Hey, I want to thank Beth Ann Long. I want to thank Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski, and Thomas. I want to thank you for making us part of your day. You can check us out on YouTube if you want to go back, listen to any part of the show. Subscribe to YouTube, 760 WJR. The Mitch Albom Show is next here on 760 WJR.